Hey everybody, welcome back. This is going to be my preview video on Penta, Cero Muerto. He is a chaotic showboat, alright, and he looks awesome. Check this out. He's got that whole Texas Chainsaw Massacre zombie butcher thing going on, which is pretty cool, right? Card art is pretty cool. I like this, I like the skeletons in the background here. Great look. Kind of reminds me, honestly, of like Professor Pig from Batman. One of the newer villains, or super villains, I guess, that was created by Grant Morrison back in, I want to say, 06, 07, somewhere around there. Really cool villain. He's a butcher, too. Anyway. Cool look. Over here, when it comes to his stats, he is a showboat, so yellow gem damage is going to be the highest. The second gem damage type to pay attention to him is purple. This is a secondary gem type. This makes the third zombie in a row where purple is either the first or secondary gem damage type. And this plays into one of his movesets. And then we have black and green gems as the tertiary, and then red and blue as the last. Pretty decent chunk of health, as you know, he is a showboat. Modern era coaching ability at 35k. Trap gems do 150% more damage. This is 25% more than Braun, and then 50% more than Sheamus. He's also the first one that adds a generate trap gem component. So moves that generate trap gems will create one more trap gem. That could be pretty useful in a lot of situations. You're the zombie link. This is a new link for 2025 zombies. So every current year zombie, when tagged up in tag team events, any color moves start with 5 more move points. Anytime you're adding MP without having to use trainers is always a great thing. And then just zombies in general. After this rotates out in 26, any color moves starting MP reduced by 2 for your opponent. This is also pretty great. So if they are a zombie, you can tag them up and their starting MP is reduced by 2. There is a modern era link. Gems do 5% more damage. Every little bit helps, but this is indeed a little bit. And no gear as of right now. But we know most zombies get gear. So probably in the spring. All right, so we're going to do this in terms of rarity as far as the movesets, and where, you know, Sheamus and Zombie Braun had kind of very clearly defined movesets, and there's only a handful of them. Zombie Penta here can do a little bit something different during each one of his rarities, and I'm not going to go quite super in depth with all of them, but I will mention them as they show up, and we'll talk about them briefly. So the first moveset is the 2-star moveset, and this is going to be a pretty decent one. A lot of people may just kind of stick with this moveset here. It is the bite move. Deal 895,000 damage, increase your yellow MP by 10, and this is also his reversal. Same reversal that all of the other zombies have been getting this year. It breaks submission, deal 5 million damage when you break it, and then tack 20 million bleed damage to your opponent for 2 turns. So each tick will be 20 million, totaling 40 million, and then 5 million just for the opportunity of getting submitted. So 45 million damage reverse. This is pretty nice. And then it's an MP up move. This is reversible. Okay. Then we're going to go to the Sling Bite, deal 915,000 damage and make 49 random gems into reinforced gems. And then Cero Muerto, deal 2 million damage and increase your yellow gem damage bonus, yellow gem damage by 90% for 1 turn. And then Finisher, deal 1.38 million damage and make 49 randos into yellow gems and pin the opponent. This is pretty big Finisher damage, so it's 3.38 million before anything else. So that's pretty nice. That kind of gets up there. And the Sling Bite, too, is also pretty decent move damage. So at the lower rarities, you could probably just get away with like loading up yellow and pinging your Finisher here. Should be enough to take care of a lot of the lower rarities. But the full move set is here. And the entourage is relatively free to play friendly. You have Trickster Bliss, reinforced gems to 100% more damage. Green moves start with 2 more move points. This gets everything loaded. Let's go back here and look at our MP. The green move is only 3 MP. So Bliss plus 1 for being yourself will get green loaded, and then increase your yellow MP by 10. We'll load both of these moves right here. Okay. So very, very solid. You only need this for MP. Then over here in this spot, the best trainer is actually Showboat Cena, the old original, very first Showboat Cena, who is plus 2 yellow MP, plus 45 yellow gem damage. I've got Goldberg here because he is recent and everybody should have him. Any colored gems do 40% more damage, plus 30% more health, which is nice because his HP pool is already 71 million. Plus the kick out gem damage also helps in case for some reason you get pinned. So I think there's more utility here, but if you're going for pure damage, the original Showboat John Cena is your best in class. Over here, this is about the rarest of the entourage I've got. Zombie Sammy is a 2-year-old zombie, but he is content locked in that you can only get him in the spring outbreak and the months of October for the most part. If you don't have him, focus on yellow gem damage or reinforced gem damage, whichever one. But he does yellow gems do 30% more damage, and then reinforced gems do 60% more damage. And then we have Hall of Fame Yoko for 100% more reinforced gem damage. Okay. Now, and I'll go over this when I go over the gem damage calculator, but the reinforced gem damage increase only takes effect on when the gem has the little reinforced symbol on it. Okay. This little chain link fence looking guy right here. Once this disappears, Alexa's, the 60% from Sammy, and the 100% from Yoko disappears, and it just goes into a normal gem type. And I'll show you how we'll calculate it on the damage computer here, or damage calculator here, so we can actually, get accurate numbers. But you have to remember that once the reinforced gems pop, Yoko, Bliss, and half of Sammy are no longer effective. For the strap, very usual for my previews, 100% gem damage strap, Fury 2s, yellow move damage to kind of increase the finisher damage and the reinforced move damage. Okay. And we're going up against Big Papa Pump. So over here in the calculator, I've already got everything kind of loaded in. 62008 is the base gem damage. Here's the strap and all of the substats. Percent trainer bonus. This is 30 from Sammy, 40 from Goldberg. And the 260, 100 from Bliss, 100 from Yoko, 60 from Zombie Sammy. All right. Over here, Big Papa Pump does have gem defense of 41.2 and percent, and then 49.61 flat. All right, so the calculator accounts for all of this, and we can see over here that our yellow gems are doing 213,200, almost 240. All right. So the first thing we need to do is get the yellow moves loaded. So we click our MP up. And then we're going to toss our reinforces. Now notice our move damage has gone up to 2.5 million. I don't think move damage is a significant part of this moveset, but it is worth taking note of. Okay. So here we are with the reinforces, and you can see right here, total gem damage with specialty modifiers. So the specialty gems puts us at 374, 462. Which we're right on right here. Okay. So what's going to happen when we hit our finisher? Well, we're going to do 5.6 million damage, increase your yellow gem damage by 90% for 1 turn. So we're going to get that activated move buff. And then finisher, deal 3.89 million damage and make 49 randos into yellow gems and pin the opponent. So we're going to paint the entire board yellow, and we're going to do it twice. All right, so how we can calculate this is we're going to take our total gem damage with specialty modifiers. We're going to add it to our total gem damage because we're going to pop 49 of these and then we're going to break 49 of these. If we add this together, we can multiply by 49 and see what we're coming up with. All right, so 213, 241 plus 374, 462 equals 587,703 multiplied by 49. So we're going to get 28. Sorry, hold on. I need to adjust this. That is way off. We're going to put our activated move buff in there. Sorry. So let's clear all of this out. So we can see with multis and activated move, there's no multis. So this works as just the activated move. And then the specialty and the activated move has pretty significantly increased our damage. 405, 158, plus 711 for, 78. Gets us to 1.1 million per gem. We're going to multiply that by 49. Gets us to 54,715,164. And then we're going to add the move damage aspect of it. 5640,720 plus 389,2320. That puts us at total damage once we hit this finisher of 64,248,000 with a relatively free-to-play friendly entourage, no plates. That's pretty good. I'm pretty okay with that. So let's see where this ends up. Oh, wiped him out. Perfect. So there you go. You've got something right out of the box. First move set, nothing too completely fancy on it. Get you to 64.5 million damage on the finisher. Now you can always increase this by putting 150% or 130% gem damage trap, and Fury 3s will also increase it. But there are some plates that really do help this out pretty good. And I figure while we're on this one, we'll show that off. All right, so we'll go over here. If you have the yellow reinforce or the rainbow reinforce, you can add 200% because when you make 6 or more reinforced gems, increase all your gem damage by 200% for a turn. All right, so you get a little bit of extra there. And then over in this spot, I found 2 plates that'll work. Interestingly enough, the most damage you can get is the Unbreakable Crown. Whenever you make 7 or more yellow gems, generate 20 green. It is a tertiary color, but it's better than base. And you are certainly breaking a lot of yellow gems. But sticking with the reinforced theme, and one that everybody I'm sure has, the Bulldog's Bracers, whenever you generate 10 or more reinforced gems, increase your yellow gem damage by 25%. Okay? Very cool. So we'll use that. And then we know that when we throw out our reinforced gems, we're going to get a 225% to base gem damage here. All right. So this is going to significantly increase our damage, and we'll look at it here shortly. This is one of the movesets that I think is going to be great for boss. At the very least, you can set it up as a shield breaker. I guess now is a good time to talk about, you could theoretically set this up as a 2-click, especially if you have the plates. Because this move is doing nothing but getting in the way of reversals and allowing you to run gem damage entourage. If you wanted to, you could run double yellow MP4s plus Santa or a line bonus or something like that, and you could have this move charged turn 1, and makes this a lot less risky. Okay, but we're going to run this in the entourage friendly way and not the 2-click friendly way. All right. Now we should have everything procced. 1 yellow gem should be about 513,980. 513,977. I've been consistently off by 3 all videos so far. So we know that when we get the move damage buff, we're going to do about 1.646 million per yellow gem. We're going to break 49 of them. That is 80.693 million in just gem damage, plus the 5640720 plus the 389, 230, 20. That puts us right at 90 million damage. Okay, which is absolutely at the point where you could probably sacrifice some entourage to run a lot safer. All right, I recognize that, but being the 2-star build, I wanted to show. Oh, my math was off somewhere. Anyway, that's upsetting. Doesn't matter. But you can run the 2-click a lot safer. All right, so let's go to the 3-star build. And the 3-star and the 4-star builds are very similar. So I'm going to kind of combine those two. And I'm going to show them off in 2 different ways. With the 2-star, I'm leaving the bite in. I'm going to leave the bite in just to give us some protection from submission, but the 3-star build is a 2-click build. So new moves, Spine Skewer, deal 1.2 million damage and make 35 multiplied gems into purple gems. And then the Mexican Dead Destroyer, deal 1.85 million damage and increase your green MP by 5. Then deal 2.25 million damage and make 30 random gems into multiplied gems of strength 3. So you're going to increase MP, throw out a bunch of multis, and then you're going to click this button and make a bunch of multis into purples, which is the secondary gem color. All right, and then the bite here is just to make us safe against submissions. For the loadout, this one should be relatively obtainable, except for Nod Rock. Okay, I understand that Nod Rock's not the easiest one to grab hold of. This is by far the rarest of the entourage that I've used so far, in my opinion. If you don't have Nod Rock, you can swap out with any of the +2 MP trainers, and then swap a zombie out for 17K Santa. You could use Matt Hardy here, anything like that. That gets your multiplied gems up to strength 5 and sacrifice one of the zombies. Okay. And then over here, we are going to slightly adjust our strap. I'm going to take the yellow move damage off and replace it with purple because the move damage on the purple moves are significant. Especially for not being finishers. They get up there in an awful big hurry. This is close to 4 million. This is over 4 million by itself. And then you get an extra 1.2 here. So without accounting for straps or anything like that, we're at 5 million move damage, which again, at the 3 and 4-star levels, is fantastic. We will have to adjust our baseline just a touch. And then percent trainer bonus, we do get 40 out of Zombie Chelsea. No, Zombie Brett. Plates, we don't have any. Specialty gym trainers, we don't have any. Activated buff, we don't have. But multiplied percent trainer, we do have 120%. Our multiplied strength is 5, and we are going to break. We're going to assume that we break all of them. Okay, so it'll be 30. All right, so that is going to put us at about a 33.9 million hit, not accounting for move damage. The problem is you're not going to break the board here. You are just going to break all of the multiplies. So you're going to be about this 33.9 plus the move damage itself. So add another, we'll look at it in match once I have everything up and running. we should be looking at purple gems with multiplies on them as a baseline, doing about 226. For each one of them doing about 1.13 million, and we can check. All right, so 5217720 plus 6345720. So this move alone is 11.5 million damage. I mean, woo! 11.5 million damage, one click, and it takes only 6 MP to load, and it's going to throw a whole bunch of multis on the board. Yeah, I'll take that. That move's OP. Just as a standalone, all by itself, that move is fantastic. We'll take a look at one of our purple gems. We are doing the 1.131 million damage, and hopefully we break all of them, but we can see that it is unlikely to happen. This is unlikely to break. This one is also unlikely to break. This one probably won't break, neither will this one. So that's where this particular moveset gets a little gnarly. So we're going to click this button. Yeah, and then we're into a pin of about 30 million, which isn't the most impressive thing in the world, but it'll get there. All right, and I also forgot to check the move damage of this one. It's roughly 3 to 4 million, so you're at 15 million move damage alone, plus all of the gems breaking. Okay, pretty good for a 3-star move. Honestly, a 3-star I'd probably still use the reinforce though. But you can do something interesting at 4-star with this move set. And obviously we're talking about multiplied gems. Okay, so I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm actually going to kind of go whaley with this particular run through, just so we can see what it looks like at the same time as us talking about the 4-star move. The 4-star move here is the Gut Buster. It's 6 green MP, which will get loaded by the Mexican Dead Destroyer. Deal 1.15 million damage and increase your purple move damage by 100% for 1 turn. Here's the hardcore part of it. If opponent's class is Striker, deal 875,000 damage and increase your purple moves damage by 100% for 1 turn. All right, so that is just designed to kind of really skyrocket this damage. All right, but in order to use this as a move flow, you'd need green 4 MP, purple 4 MP plus Santa to really take advantage of that. I'm still going to lean into the multiply aspect. But since this is going to be kind of whaley, I'm going to swap out plates. All right, I'm going to put the rumble plate, and I'm going to put a yellow rumble plate on there because that is his primary gem damage color. And then over here, I'm going to go a little weird, and I'm going to put the Kofi plate on it. That's the one that came out last month. Whenever you activate a purple move, increase your purple move damage by 100% for 2 total turns. So really just kind of trying to lean into the purple move damage as much as possible here. And then with the entourage, these two stay the same. But I do replace them with the gruesome twosome of Seth and Nardo and Howdy. All right. If I really wanted to dial it up, I would put Fury 3s on, but I don't have it. Multiplies strength turns into 8. Multiplies broken turns into 36. So now you can see automatically we are up to 56 million just by breaking all the multis. And this moveset will break all of the multis. Won't break them all purple. Some of them will break yellow and we'll get a boost in damage there. But yeah, this puts us up into the 56 range. The first thing that we have to do, and then I am going to calculate all of the move damage here. 5217720 plus 6345720. So there's your 11.5. We're going to click this move. We're going to throw the purples out. All right, so we are at multiplied gem strength of 8. Then we're going to go into the Gut Buster. So we're going to add 943720. Going to increase our move damage. This move also procced the Kofi plate. So we've got the Kofi plate procced once, and this move has boosted our purple gem damage. So we're adding another 9815020, 9.8 million damage in just moves alone so far, putting us up to 22.3. And then let's add all of the multiplied gem damage. Puts us up to 78 million. Not to mention that we have a rumble plate on it, pitching out yellow gems, which is its primary color. This should hit somewhere in the lower to mid 80s. Go. Sorry, lower to mid 80s turn 1, because all of this move damage was for the turn. Sorry. Be more clear, Slam. Be more clear. Cool. So that's the 4-star moveset with some whaley stuff on it. Okay. Now the 5-star moveset, I'm not really going to run because it's not functionally different than the 2-star moveset. And what I mean by that is the 5-star moveset is triple yellow, basically. So we've got the reinforce and the finish that paints the board yellow. But then we start talking about the Bloody Cleaver Chop move. Now, this isn't a finisher. It's just a move. It's 7 yellow MP. So you'd have to rearrange all your trainers anyway to do the double yellow MP plus Santa to get this finisher ready turn 1. And the only thing that the Bloody Cleaver Chop does is this is the Titan mode move. Deal 858,000 damage and 7 million bonus damage for every player turn that is passed. So turn 1, this is going to do 7.85 million damage. Turn 2, this will do 14.85 million damage. Turn 3, it'll be 21.85 million damage, etc., etc. In an actual match, I don't see this being significantly better than the first way I ran it, the 2-star moveset. And honestly, I don't see it being significantly better than any of the movesets that we've looked at so far. This is probably the least decent one, except for when you get into Titan mode, and we'll know more about that, hopefully, as the time of me recording this. I'll know more about this in an hour, because it should be live in game. Yeah, cool. Let's go to the 4th moveset. The 4th moveset, I think, is the one that most people are going to gravitate towards. This is going to be the one that for feuds and showdowns most people will use. Whereas I think the reinforced moveset will be more of a boss moveset, or any time that reinforced gems get significantly increased. I am going to go back to more friendly trainers for this one. Okay. But I'm going to leave the plates the same. All right. I am going to leave the plates the same. So multiply gem strength is 5. We're going back to 30 of them. But we're adding in the 6-star move, Zombie Bomb. Deal 1 million damage and increase the strength of your multiplied gems by 4. All right. So instead of multiplied gems strength 5, we're going to 9. You can see if all of the multiplied gems break, it is going to be 61 million plus all of the move damage. And we're throwing another purple move gem or move into the mix that will be triggered, that will trigger the Kofi plate. Okay. So this just gets into really stacking move damage really well. And then throwing out a whole bunch of multis. So here's our 11.5 million plus all of the multiply gems. All right. Here, this move is going to do 3.79 million and increase the strength of all of the multiply gems. Okay, and then we're just going to paint the board purple, and this move now does 6.19 million. So 6.19 plus the 4.78. Nope, that changed. Never mind. That was like 379. So that's 10 million from these two, and then 11 million from this one, puts you at 21 million before you even break a purple gem. And we know that the purple gem should do well north of 61 million damage after you break that and toss out the rumble. There you go. 77 million. Nothing too gnarly. I mean, Nod Rock, I know, again, is not the most common trainer. Not everybody's got a rumble plate. But if you do, you can toss it. It doesn't matter what color rumble plate you're putting on this moveset. What you're doing is you're trying to pick up the multiplied gems that didn't get broke by the move that turns the multiplied gems into purple. You can absolutely use a purple rumble plate if you've got it. You can use a green one. You can use a red one. Doesn't matter. And you don't necessarily need the Kofi plate on here. That's just fun to stack up the move damage a little bit. And for the last one, I do want to get, just because, I want to bring back the Gruesome Twosome, Seth and Nardo, and Howdy. So we're going to drop this to 60. Multiplied gem strength will be 12, and we're making 36 of them. You can see that just in multiplied gem damage alone, we're going to be doing about 84 million, plus all of the move damage. This puts us very comfortably into 100 million damage territory. And there's other stuff you can do here, right? If you had a ministry plate, you could use a ministry plate. Because this is a much, much, much more consistent moveset because you've got Howdy going on. All right. I forgot to do it exactly, but that should be enough for estimations purposes. Now we're adding 37 plus the 379, 1879 gets you to 15.2. Now you've got a board full of 12s, right? And now you're adding 619, 2010. So you're up to 21.4 plus the theoretical 842,42313 million. There you go. There's your 105 estimated ish. And then you got the rest of the rumble plate and cascades and blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's gnarly. This is a great moveset. You might not even need, like I said, you might not even need the rumble plate for this moveset. You could probably get away with just using the ministry plate if you have it. I'd be just fine. You could also use Bubba's specs and get away with it just fine. That would be 100% to purple gem damage. I mean, there's a bunch of different things that you can do here. All right. Yeah, Z Penta's awesome. I'm a big fan of Zombie Penta. There's two main movesets here, but a bunch of different things that you can do with them. I bet, in my previews, I'm not really trying to get into the weeds of like really zeroing in on any one specific type of moveset. I just wanted to kind of like, how can I reasonably get to damage that is workable out of each one of the movesets that is given to me? And if the movesets make sense, I will show them off. If they don't, I won't. Okay. This guy does have 5 different movesets that make sense, depending on what you're trying to do. And you could, like I said, you could probably get into the weeds and try to figure out an actual purple move damage moveset with this, right? You could probably figure out how to really, really, really increase multiplied gem damage, 150 gem damage strap, get some serious damage going on that way. He's going to be great in boss, especially for yellow shields. 10 MP. Get you loaded, and then you just throw out 49 yellow gems. Click, 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 click. So he's going to be great for yellow shields. He's going to be great for reinforced bosses. He's going to be great for purple gem damage bosses. Like, he's going to be awesome. With the tag links, he's going to be a showdown nightmare. There's ways to do it, like I said, 2 clicks, so you can kind of eliminate a lot of your reversal risk, especially with the reinforced move damage or reinforced gem damage set. I'm a big fan of Zombie Penta. I hope everybody gets him. Great showboat. I can't remember exactly the last, like, really, well, I guess it's Zombie Bret Hart last year is a pretty decent showboat zombie. And then the Tusos the year before that. So he just adds to the stable of great showboat zombies, now that I'm thinking about it. This is one of those, in closing thoughts, this is one of those characters that I think I might be missing something, though. So if I've missed anything, do me a favor, let me know down in the comments. Otherwise, if you've learned anything today, if you've been entertained by anything today, or if you just happen to like the sound of my voice, do me a favor, click like, click subscribe, share to your faction mates, and then for sure, check out the description of this video. You'll find links to my socials, my Twitch page, my Twitter page, the whole nine. Do all of the follows and the clicking and the stuff like that. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.